Someone confirm for me. I don't want to refresh my player just in case. Someone confirm for me. Oh, there we go. I don't want to. It appears to be back up because the player just went live again, even though it's paused. Cool.
Yep, we're good.
All right.
Sorry, Twitch chat. I don't know what happened.
So I think there was a question around: is there any like mechanic to assist in this?
There is. But the trouble, so I run lots of role-playing events, and I know a lot of game systems, which has the obvious downside of I know loads of different ways that helping is handled, but off the top of my head, right now, I can't remember which one it is.
You don't know, make it up, and we'll find out later.
Yeah, sure.
So if anyone...
I mean, default is you just give everyone one die for everyone helping.
Right.
So it's
Cool.
You went for cunning, pick a skill, survival.
Yeah, we'll go survival.
Obvious.
Yeah.
And then yes, one per person helping. So 3 extra dice.
Wow, that's a lot of die. All right, so I had 4 straight up, and whatever Ash gives me there.
Oh, nope.
Nope. Okay. 4.
Oh, should I roll as well, or?
No, just everyone who's helping for now because I can't quick scan of the rulebook.
Okay.
Just add 1 die per person helping.
Oh, I'm helping, so.
Yeah. Cool. So just 1, I think it is.
Just 1 success total?
No, that's 4 from me.
Oh, okay. Sorry, misunderstood.
You just like barrel through it.
I know where
I've
I'm
got
going.
this. This way.
Mirrors? What mirrors?
He's master.
I'm just like walking through the mirrors, just pushing them over.
Moses in the sea of mirrors.
Yeah, all they said was you had to leave. It wasn't that you had to not destroy the place.
Yeah.
There's like a foot gap underneath each mirror, so you just could like wiggle your way through it.
Where's my thing with the difficulty? It is difficulty 2. So you will say that the first kind of 5 the first interval. So it's complex action. It's going to take a number of intervals. With 1 milestone reached per successful interval. Sorry, I'll restart that sentence entirely. It's a complex action, so take place over a period of time. In this instance, each roll is 5 minutes. If you complete it within 3 intervals or 15 minutes, you succeed. You've got 2 of the milestones you need because it's difficulty 2. Sorry, 1 of the milestones. What am I going on about? So please make that roll again. But you feel good. You've done this with enough degree of success that I'll give you an extra milestone. That's where the 2 came from.
I'll look to my companions here and I say, does anyone else want to take the lead on this one?
I mean, I can try. Is leadership a valid skill in here?
Yeah, if you're using that to delegate to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, if I can, we'll actually split the party. So I'll have people like go different directions and
cool.
Call out when they find dead ends and stuff like that.
So if you're using leadership, if you want to use a social attribute, that's fine.
I'd love to. Let's see here. I feel like this is either composure or manipulation.
Your choice.
Especially like convincing the group to listen to me because we have quite a group of personalities here. So fuck it, manipulation, because why not? Is anybody assisting or nah?
I'll assist Doc.
Great. All right.
Oh, and that's an exploder.
Loud.
Many dice. All
well,
right,
actually, if you're splitting the party, it makes sense for 2 people to roll. So.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, that's so with 10s you re-roll them?
Yes, they explode.
Okay, so do they count as a success or?
Yeah, they count as a success, and then if you get another 10, that counts as a success, and re-roll that, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Okay. So Liam, I have actually quite a bit. My entire gauge is full for leadership. So if you're okay, if we're splitting the party, and are we splitting the party completely or?
Probably twos.
Twos? Okay.
Mm.
So if you're okay, I have quite a bit of leadership in this one, so I will roll and you can assist if that's okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Lead the way, Ash.
Okay, so I guess I'm stuck with Isabel, and you rolled a success, right, Isabel?
2 success.
Okay, well, there's 2 successes for me and 2 from Isabel, I guess.
Aha. So the way it works is you do roll, and basically the successes that whoever's the helper.
Oh, actually, it was 3 because I had an exploder.
Okay, so you need to decide who's the primary actor here, because the helper gives automatic successes based on how many successes they have.
I'll be the leader in this, I guess.
So Isabel's contributing an enhancement of 2 to you, so you get an extra 2 successes on top of whatever you rolled. Cool. You only needed 2 successes anyway, so it's I can never remember which way around it is. It's either a maze because it has multiple exits and a labyrinth has one routes and a labyrinth has one route, or it's a labyrinth because a maze has one route and a labyrinth has many routes. One of those two. You both.
I think if David Bowie's there, it's a labyrinth.
You remind me of the Babe.
You look around and there's just a cod piece reflected in a mirror.
Ah!
It's part of the movie.
I think we make it through, is what you're saying.
Yes, both quote unquote teams reach the exit about the same time. Well within the 15-minute time limit for that sweet novelty dog, oversized dog, plush dog.
Yes.
Wait,
All
there's
right.
4 of us. We're gonna have to split it.
I vote it goes
One
to
moment,
Isabel.
please.
Where did Isabel just run to?
To get a pair of scissors?
I hope
They-
not. No, I don't need a giant plush dog. I'm just saying you guys can fight it out among yourselves. I'd prefer you didn't fight it out technically. Wow, this is made of polyester. Lovely.
Oh yeah, it's the cheapest, sort of ethically sourced plush toy that they could find.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Well, the festival. I mean,
Ish.
all around the festival, you've seen like promotional material for recyclable or like recycled clothing and all ethically sourced goods and whatnot. But also a couple of the places are like clearly they've contracted out to a different company to supply some of the things. And the difference in quality and listed price is very noticeable.
All right.
Right.
Well, Isabel, I'm not trying to get any black eyes, so if you want the dog,
I
it's
do.
fine. That's
My
fine.
dog.
Yeah, Liam says, yeah, Isabel, look, if you really want that, you should take it. And he sort of gives it a little glance for a second. He truly likes these sorts of things, but doesn't want to let on about it. So he keeps that inside. He just keeps it.
Okay, so yeah, you are given the for like the 8th time, the word the I do stammer. I do apologize. I know it's a bit off-putting sometimes.
You're fine. No worries.
The attendant, who you paid to go into the mirror maze, yeah, she unhooks the dog, passes it to you. Wow, that was quick. The last group we had that went through that quickly, well, like they'd been before. She kind of looks skeptically at you, but I work here all the time and I don't remember seeing you. So well done, and passes you the dog.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
And as
Liam sort of
Isabel
watches it.
as Isabel takes the dog, and Liam has that if only kind of like imaginary violin harp music playing in the background. You hear not screams, but shouts of surprise and shock coming from kind of back towards the main entrance area.
I'm off today. Okay.
I'm never off. He just sort of goes, and he goes to go
Come
look.
on, let's go have a look.
Isabel's face contrarily lights up at this.
I'm gonna go out of concern that one of my kids is getting into trouble again, because it isn't unlikely.
So what can we tell what kind of a scream it was?
Yes, I'm just doing some basic maths and then trying to adjudicate numbers on the fly. Sorry, but it's kind of like concern, shock, dismay, that kind of thing.
Right. Okay. So I'd be worried about it if
it's
I've
not
got a bit of a conscience.
It's not people crying out pain. It's just oh god, what's happening kind of. Oh god, what's happening kind of thing. Also, this is great because this is obviously playtesting for the adventure, and I can update the document if I need to. That seems like an excessive number of antagonists to have now in hindsight.
That sounds like a band name. Excessive number of antagonists.
Let's go with that.
At least a good first album.
It's like a Modest Mouse album.
With their self-titled concept album.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you kind of start heading in that direction, there is now the sound of people in pain. And it's kind of underneath it, quieter, based entirely on the kind of just disparity between number of people giving voice to this noise. But there's more of a wild hullabaloo kind of, yeah, let's get them kind of noise coming from that direction.
I'd sort of say to my companions, let's just edge in, not rush in, assess the situation first.
Yeah.
All right.
Isabella nods if she's going to do that.
And you haven't... sorry, do you want to say something?
Oh, no, I'll just turn to Isabel because I know her. Look her dead in the face. Don't do anything crazy. Please.
And I know this isn't even the same gameplay, and we found the bard.
Isabel or Michael?
Yes.
4-bard party. Let's do
Yes.
this.
How many bards does it take to get through a maze?
2 echolocation.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna creep up to this. What's the word I was looking for?
Altercation?
Brouhaha. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. Brouhaha.
Altercation works as well, though. But you don't actually manage to leave the carnival games area before just the mass of people starts forcing you backwards. Rinkoth, this is pre-awakening. This is no visitations have happened yet. The mass of people starts pushing you backwards, and then kind of over their shoulders, you can see kind of heading towards you a group of people. Every now and then swinging what looks like a lead pipe or something, like a club maybe.
Boy.
But their body language is aggressive. I mean, they're just wearing casual clothing. There's no distinguishing feature at this distance that you can make out about clothing or identifying details, apart from the fact that every now and then they'll swing a pipe or a club or something. But they are definitely heading this way.
So do I see anybody that's injured?
There are a couple of people in the crowd that are injured, but you're quickly being kind of pushed away from them as people are trying to run away from whatever's happening. If that makes sense?
Right.
I know sometimes I skip over important stuff. So always feel free to ask for clarification. Okay. So what I would like you all to do is... Where did my cheat sheet go? I think it's here. Where's my cursor? Could you... so basically we're making an initiative order right now. So you can pick the relevant skill, as long as you can talk me around to it. But it's any skill plus cunning. And I'll need a number of successes.
Isabel is not cunning.
However, there is once you've given me the numbers, I will explain how initiative works in this system because it's not like it is in most other systems.
So how many die do we work for initiative? Or
So it's your cunning attribute, plus any skill that you think is relevant.
Okay, I'm gonna go with either leadership or persuasion.
Yeah, both of those.
Probably persuasion, just trying to like not shout at people, but like gently redirect them around us. And okay, you go over here, you go over there. Everybody calm down, that kind of thing. So I guess it's whichever. They're both 5, so.
And I actually have a skill under persuasion that's called hostile situations. Would that be applicable to this moment?
Yes, so that would give you an enhancement to the roll. So if you roll anything but persuasion, you get 1 extra success.
Cool.
Okay, I would like to use empathy wounded. I know there's people wounded, and that makes me just hop to it.
That works for me.
Cool.
We have close combat. And
Yeah.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay.
So many dice.
Just a little Shadowrun-esque in the amount of dice we're rolling, but not quite.
Could have been worse. It could have been Exalted 2nd Edition.
That's true.
I've heard the stories.
Bags of dice.
I only ever used a dice roller for that for good reason.
So I ended up including my additional success. I have 5.
Cool. I'm missing 2 PCs.
Okay, so I had 3.
Okay, so that's another 3.
3 as well.
Cool. Okay. So the way that initiative works is that rather than arranging it by who got the most successes and who had the least successes, what it works out as each PC creates an initiative slot for a player character. So you can act in a different order every time, basically. Rinkoth, I believe they said in the... Sorry, just to address the question in chat. I believe they said on the Monday... I think it was the Monday meeting notes. They're looking into doing that again with other books, just to keep you updated. I think I saw that in the Monday meeting notes. Yeah, so it creates PC slots. So right now, it's initiative count 5 and 3. There are all 4 PC slots. And then I rolled 1 success for both of the NPC parties. So you're all going to act before the NPCs anyway.
Okay.
But it means you don't have to act in the same order every turn. So you can set things up, for example. None of you have weapons right now.
Yeah.
There are objects on the carnival stalls that you could theoretically use as a weapon if you wanted
Inflatable hammers.
to grab one. The way that it's worked out is you make a roll to find a weapon, which I won't take away from your action for the turn because it's just more of a look thing than anything else. But if you don't manage to get enough successes to pay off the complication, you just throw a soft toy instead. Or like you grab a soft toy by accident.
A second soft toy.
You could have as many as you want, within reason that you can carry. So the games area for now that kind of everything is kicked off, it's a series of like corridors or alleyways between tents with the various carnival games on. The workers are just kind of trying to hide as best they can and protect the people nearby because they're duty of care. The people approaching you, now they're close enough, a couple of them have like tattoos on their necks or on their faces. They are swinging pipes everywhere trying to... They don't appear to be going after people. They appear to be going more collateral damage, like just property destruction. But they do definitely seem to have an intent and are moving in this direction with purpose. And one of them is kind of pointing at a couple of the closest stalls. As I say, a couple of the stalls nearby, you can try and grab something from them to use as a weapon if you don't fancy fists, feet, or teeth. Or you don't have to fight entirely. You don't have to fight at all if you don't want to. There's no compulsion there to fight if you think you'd be best served hiding or helping other people, that kind of thing. I think that is all that I need to make you aware of in terms of the field. Again, Scion uses abstract zones, so right now all of their gang members, all of the gang members are at medium range. So obviously you have to move up to to engage with them at close range.
Okay.
It's all done in range bands, and the abstract zones represent fields. So you're really, you decide who goes first and in what order you act. As I say, the gang members are going to act after you. They have their own stat blocks, like you have a character sheet and everything.
Liam's just going to look to Michael to see what Michael wants to do, being the person that Liam knows best out of this group, and they tend to be a leader as well.
I actually have a question. Because Ash's background, like they are a human who works with at-risk youth, and with that, I feel like comes the knowledge of local gangs per se, things that children would use to get in trouble. Essentially, do I recognize any of these people, even just offhandedly, or?
Tell you what, let's get a roll. That'd be a mental roll, your choice of attribute of approach. Sorry. And it would probably be culture, but you could gain the enhancement for disadvantaged youth as a specialty.
Okay, I also have under culture street, so I don't know if that would count for this as well.
Specialties don't apply to the skill that they are tied to. Okay. It's weird and takes a bit of getting used to, but
I appreciate it.
Them's the rules, and for once I didn't write them. Neil wrote them. Blame Neil. I don't work for Onyx Path, just...
Blame Neil.
That's an exploder.
It's an Onyx Path proverb.
I'm sure Neil's a perfectly lovely person.
Oh, yeah.
I love this game so much.
Wow.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, that's enough. They are, from what you can see based on the tattoos, as they're getting closer, and this wouldn't have taken your turn or anything because it's more of a reflexive thing. They have straight razors tattooed on their cheeks or necks, and for the most part, ties in with a gang that a couple of the kids you've worked with, you've rehabilitated from maybe or tried to help. There's a gang called the Demon Barbers, and they're largely not in this part of the city. They tend to stick with the areas for redevelopment and the lower income areas and that kind of thing. And this is definitely not. This is more suburbia, but that's the immediate connection you make, or realization you have. Sorry.
Okay. And I roll to look for something to defend myself with, correct?
If you are acting first in the initiative, you can.
Is that okay with you all, or does anyone have something they would like to prefer to do first?
Actually, Michael will, as we're approaching and assessing the situation, Michael will look at Liam and then at Ash and say, "Do you know these kids?"
Some of the I know. I know. I would probably know of the gang. Would I?
If it's mentioned, yes. You've seen enough kind of both members of and victims of in your time.
Yeah. I'll just sort of shrug it first then.
Okay. I'm familiar with these guys, Demon Barbers. They're bullies at best, but I mean, keep your guard up. I don't know what they're capable of. I don't know why they're all the way up here. They usually aren't in this area. I don't know if they're looking for someone. Just keep that in mind. If you see someone under distress, make sure, just keep an eye on them. I'm going to see if I can, I don't know, talk to these guys. I don't know if I can pull this much weight this far away from their territory, but I'm going to see what I can do. All right. I mean,
all right.
And then,
So you're going to try and get out ahead of the crowd and talk them down?
yeah, I'm gonna try to reason with them.
Okay, what are you saying?
I'm gonna I don't know if I can use my persuasion with hostile situations, or can I use those separately or together?
So what you could do is roll with leadership because you're taking charge of the situation, and then apply your enhancement for hostile situations.
All right.
And then that would be a social skill, obviously.
Yeah.
Attribute, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Just looking over that real quick. All right. Okay, so that's 3. And I'm just going to come out like this. And it's like, gentlemen, do we really need to be doing this today? It's such a beautiful day. Is there something we can help you with? Or like, I really don't think this is something you guys want to be doing right now. This is a little ridiculous.
Okay. 3 successes is enough to buy off the complication that they attack you.
Okay.
It was 2 difficulty, 1 complication that they would just focus all of their aggression on you if because you're intervening. So as you're kind of getting forward in the crowd and pushing people out of the way and stuff, there are 9 of them. 1 of them seems to be in charge, and it is him who kind of addresses you. The other 8, you can see now that there's far fewer people between you. Their eyes are completely black. Like, there's no pupil, there's no sclera, there's no iris. It's just black.
Good. I'm so glad I ran headfirst into this.
Michael is right behind you for what it's worth.
Appreciate it.
But the in the short amount of narrative time they have to reply, the one who is kind of obviously leading them. Well, we don't have to do it, but we really, really wanna. But it bought you the time to see that, if that makes sense. So it wasn't. I don't want you to feel like your action was wasted.
Yeah, but at least we know how many there are, and yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And now it's not one person charging 9 people by themselves with fists and a plush toy.
No, Michael's like right behind
Cool.
Ash.
Okay, so that was the initiative slot at 5. There are 3 at 3, so go crazy in whatever order you wish.
Yeah, I might as well go next, I guess. I would like to look for maybe a few lengths of rope, if I can, just like yay long lengths of rope.
I mean, it's carnival games. There's probably something that you can use to simulate rope if there's an actual rope.
Yeah,
Like one of the
right.
rope ladder games.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
just something that I could tie things with.
Or the ropes on the tents.
Ropes on the tents, just cut them off or something.
Those are kind of like
Although-
Kevlar, like not Kevlar, but like steel cables on the bigger ones, but littler tents might have rope.
Yeah, or just anything that I could use to tie something. Ideally, what I want to try and do is nullify them rather than hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that works.
So Liam's not about hurting people.
Could you? So if you bottom right of your character sheet, you've got a movement dice pool.
Sure.
Could you please real quick roll that to see how far you can get? Because the crowd is pushing against you.
That'll be 2.
2? That's enough. It wasn't a very thick crowd by this point, and that's fine to be a reflexive action for now as well. So you get into at short range. So if you wish, you can roll that pool again to get to close range and combine your actions, but you roll the smaller of the 2 pools.
Yep, so I'm sort of veering up to the side to look for something, right?
Yeah, or you you can be going to grab the rope now, and then next turn, if you want to use the rope.
Yeah, I'd like to grab for the rope now.
Cool. Yeah.
And
you can find there's like a lasso game.
Yep.
So there's
Perfect.
just, I mean, they're currently tied in a knot around a loop, so you can't just walk off of the rope when the carnival person's not looking. But
No, yeah.
you can untie the rope easily enough.
Yep. So I just try and get because the lasso is really good for what I want to try and do. I want to try and like catch their hands and maybe tie it onto something so that they're not hurting people and just sort of stop them in their tracks.
Yep, that works for me. So Michael and Isabel, you both still have to act.
I'll go next. If
Cool.
it's okay with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Michael is going to kind of emerge from behind Ash. We've still got the crowd kind of willy-nilly around us being all panicky and shit, right?
Yes. In like gameplay terms, basically for this round, it's impeding movement. Afterwards, it's pretty much gone. You've just got cover after that.
What zone are we currently? Are we in? We're in among the games right now, right?
Yes.
So the storytelling stage is kind of behind us.
That is correct.
Okay. Michael will get up next to Ash, and he's not used to yelling, but he's gonna raise his voice enough to be heard, and simply look like he's in charge.
Okay.
And say something along the. Sorry, Rune is blanking. Michael is not.
Gosh darn it, Rune.
Sorry, it's really early. I need everybody to go towards the storytelling stage. Don't run, walk, please.
Okay, that pretty obviously sounds like a mental attribute. You pick the approach then.
There's no need for panic. Everybody just take a deep breath. I'm gonna go with the the obvious choice is manipulation, but I feel like this is more composure. This is chaos.
Yep.
My composure stat is not as good as my manipulation stat, but hey.
What skill are you going to add to that?
This is persuasion or leadership, so it's the same score either way.
Cool. That's fine.
However, I do have soothing presence.
You do.
Yeah, so I get to add, I think, 1 additional die.
That's an enhancement, isn't it? Yeah, you have an enhancement.
I do, yeah. So it says when I enter initial social encounter, reduce attitude by 1. And then for any other interaction which you attempt to get someone else to relax, calm down, or be welcoming, you have 1 enhancement to all applicable rolls. I don't know what that means.
So what that means is, as long as you succeed at the action, that gives you an extra success.
Hallelujah.
Just an automatic success you don't need to roll for.
Alright. Please, dice, stop trying to kill me. Okay. That's an exploder. Okay, so that's another success. That's a success. God, my dice really, really hate me. Okay, I rolled 2 successes, had 1 exploded, and then rolled an additional success. So that's 4.
4 successes.
Right, and I don't know if that's a success in general, but...
Yeah, I mean, it was difficulty 3 because you're trying to... did you add your enhancement?
No, it's
5
5
successes.
with the enhancements.
It was difficulty 3 because just the sheer number of people you're trying to calm down more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But even Liam, Isabel, and Ash feel just the wave of calm emanating from you. It's momentary. It's certainly not going to last, but for the moment, the crowd is more orderly. It won't be a barrier for Isabel when she acts. And they are not slowly, but with less... it's that kind of... It's haste. It's with haste, but not panicking haste. There's no chaos here. Making their way behind you to the storytelling area.
Wonderful. Hopefully I don't get punched. That's my turn.
But it does, however, reveal to everyone the fact that there are 9 people approaching you. As written, because I didn't. When I was, writing this, it was like, is everyone going to split up or not? Probably going to split up. So there should be 12 people. But it's like that's going to drag everything down too much, so we'll have 8. You can still move if you want. It's it's a free action to move up.
I'm
Range
standing. I am standing next to Ash. I'm not gonna let them stand up here by themselves.
Cool thing. Isabel, you have a. It's not clear if there's still people between you, but they're no longer impeding movement between you
Excellent.
and the people interrupting your good time.
Yes, with their attention on Ash, Isabel's going to make a beeline for that leader, looking for a weapon on the way if there is one. Isabel's pretty strong, so it could be something heavy or furniture like. But if there's nothing, she'll just charge forward anyway.
Yeah, there are a couple of carnival games that they've provided chairs with for people with accessibility problems, perhaps, or just to sit down.
Chair's good, yeah.
That's probably the heaviest thing.
Chair. Grabbing a chair, marching up to the leader, and when I get close, I am going to toss the plushy dog right up to him, just a little toss, so that either when the leader catches that toy or it bounces off their chest, I'm going to clobber them with the chair.
Okay, yeah.
Shouting, have some emotional validation.
Yes.
Michael tries not to look proud.
That seems like a pretty physical based move.
Now, my enhanced impact knack.
Yes.
It says it activates when I deal injury with a knack skill. What's a knack skill?
Oh, right, yeah. So some of this is simplified because it is more of an introductory thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically a skill associated with the knack. I will just real quick verify for you. Many knacks reference in that skill rolls the story guide, and player choose the most appropriate skill for each knack. So it's probably the close combat, let's face it.
Combat. Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, I will go close combat and might as I'm wielding this chair. And that is 3 successes.
3 successes. I will double check their defense pool. Whoops. Wrong thing. I knew I should have gone to this document earlier. They have a defense of 2, so I roll 2 dice and then subtract successes. I got 0 successes, so defense is always 1, so that there's a challenge to the roll. So subtract 1 from your number, and that's how much.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so didn't get a chance to activate its special quality. So its defense is not 3. Yeah, it has a health of 2. So they he grabs the plush toy out of the air almost reflexively, starts to squeeze it, to like damage it, which is when the chair just hits him in the chest.
I'd like to use my enhanced impact, which knocks the target back 1 range band. I'd like to knock him into the tightest cluster of his fellows.
Okay, yeah. He goes flying, like ragdoll limp. As the chair hits him, the chair does unfortunately break. It's not designed for this kind of thing. It's a folding camp chair. And so you're not sure if the crack is the chair or his breastbone and ribcage. But it goes flying back, ragdoll limp into like 3 of the people behind him, who kind of dive to the ground to get out of the way in time.
Isabel looks at all the rest of them wild-eyed and says, "Step on up, test your strength."
Oh boy, I like.
So they're all. So they're all together now, right?
Yes.
Tight. Yep. Cool.
Yes. It is now their turn. The 3 of them that had to dive to the ground, they just obviously stand up and start moving towards you. But because they were knocked to the ground, they can't move as far for obvious reasons. The others are one each is heading towards the 4 of you, and then the one that leaves is going to head for the nearest carnival game store. So I'll just roll for them real quick, and then we will go for the punchy. It'll be reg stuff. Cool. Okay, yeah. So the one that goes to the market stall kind of lifts, pushes the worker aside. They go flying. Grabs a small metal tin from beneath the counter, puts it under their their arm and starts running away. And then the ones heading towards each of you will just so Liam and Isabel, I think you'll be the closest, and Ash and Michael are a bit further back, so they won't get to you this slot, but they're definitely heading for Ash and Michael. So you have a defense pool.
We do.
So let's roll a do harm, because that's what I called the dice pool.
But I don't want to be harmed.
You're fine. They're too far away for you.
All right. I don't want them to be harmed.
So, just so you are aware, so I'm going to roll do harm against you. That is what it is. It's that one of their primary pools. They get 5 dice to try and hit you, basically. Where's my cheat sheet? There it is. In response, you can defend, so you can just roll your defense to dodge. If you wish to, you can roll that pool to dive to cover. So just move 1 range band to reach cover. Or you can roll away, which requires successes equal to your composure to just move away, on top of reducing damage that you take. So it's like you'll probably take damage anyway, but you can mitigate it somewhat. If that all makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. I'll go for the mitigate.
Okay, well, you don't need to.
Oh.
So what happens is the person charging towards you with their pipe starts swinging the pipe slightly too early, which throws them off balance slightly. So they actually hit the stall next to you where you got the rope from. And the pipe passes clean through the wooden counter that the rope was on, snapping the metal hoop, denting the pipe, bending the pipe in the process, and keeps going. Everyone can see that.
So they're fairly strong.
Reasonably strong is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And then, which is when the one in front of the one charging Isabel reaches Isabel, and let's try the same thing.
That's a lot of dice.
Yeah.
So I got 2 successes. Would you care to defend, Isabel? You've got a number of defense dice on your character sheet.
Yes, I will. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
3. So you could negate that to 0, or you could just move away. It's up to you.
I'll negate it to 0.
Okay. And I don't care if that's not the rules. It's like a tutorial scene anyway. You just kind of roll with the blow. Kind of just slides off of you rather than hitting you solidly.
Sweet.
That's their initiative slots. Back up to the 4 of yours. Again, in any order.
I like the order that we had before, Ash.
Sure.
Going back up.
I like it.
The person coming at me, they're not quite at me yet, right?
No. They'll get to you now. On their slot in the initiative.
So can I take this time, recognizing that someone is very aggressively coming towards me? Can I roll to find something to defend myself with?
I had a quick check of the field qualities for this area, and this area is like you just grab an item.
Yeah.
And then if you then attack with that item, there's a complication to resolve, which maybe you've picked up a plush toy, or if you just want to take your turn to just grab something specifically, that works as well.
Okay. I think because Ash is what I would commonly refer to as all dex, no flex. You're very squishy, really high stamina though. I think I'm going to find something. Can I grab like a broom, like some kind of broomstick, something that I can keep a distance away from myself with?
Yeah.
With them?
Yeah. However, this does bring me to a salient point. When I'm giving you the arena, so mental, physical, or social, to form a dice pool with, Like the most obvious example is combat. Stamina is a viable attribute to roll because you're more about just tiring the opponent out rather than landing heavy blows. If that makes sense.
It does, absolutely.
But yeah, you can grab a broom, and get to into position to receive the charge, so to speak.
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab a broom. I'm going to kick. I'm gonna kind of stomp the end of the broom to break the actual sweeping part off with, so that I have a sharp end as well.
Yep. The bristles fall to the floor. The person on the stall is like, yeah, and then thinks better of it because clearly you're acting to defend them rather than just wanton property destruction.
I'll replace it.
Thank you. Is that everything you wanted to do? You can still move if you wish.
I feel like I would move backwards a little bit just to give myself a little more distance away from the stall and the person in it, and kind of at least move. I know it's I'm imagining a carnival, so I know it's fairly narrow with maybe 12 feet on either side, but I want to try to put myself nice in the middle and away from as many people as I can.
Sure thing.
Okay. All right, and I think that's going to be my move.
Okay, that's your slot. Who's next?
I think Liam.
It was, yeah. All right. So the one charging Ash, I'm gonna try and lasso.
Okay, so
and try and negate them.
In common parlance, what you're telling me you want to do is invoke the grappling rules.
Right. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Okay, that's an athletics and might check.
And
those are specific. Although if you want to use dexterity or stamina, you can.
Yeah, I was thinking dexterity just to
that works for me.
Get it right. Yeah. Sort of straight up dex.
Yes, I will roll their defense of 1. Let's assume they get 1 success because they can't roll fewer than 1 success.
So 1.
I'll give you an
1
enhancement for the lasso, so you got 2.
Okay. Cool.
So the way it works, on top of in combat particularly, although you can do it in the other 2 kinds of scene, which are procedural, which is investigation, and intrigue, which is social stuff. You can use the successes to buy stunts. A couple of your knacks mention stunts anyway, just as a general thing.
Right.
But you have successfully initiated the grapple. So you may now, if you want, it still requires a roll, but you may drag or throw your target anyway.
Okay, I'm just going to try and pull as far away from Ash as possible.
Okay, that's fine. So that is might because you're just physically...
Just a straight up might.
Yes, and it's an opposed might and athletics roll, and they don't have either of those because they're an antagonist. So this would be their desperation pool.
That was a 0. None.
Did you get a 1 as well?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. 1.
Okay, so that's a botch. I got 2 successes anyway. They break free.
That's fine.
I was just trying to pull them.
Not very strong.
However, because you have taken your action to do that and then try and move them, if they're still there on... Oh, sorry, my TV's got a power save mode. I don't have a second monitor to work with. My partner's borrowed it, so I'm having to use an old TV, and it's about to turn off. On the next turn, if they're still there, I'll give you an extra enhancement to the roll if you still want to grapple them.
All right.
Because you're going all in on the grapple rather than doing something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically that was your turn, unfortunately.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Michael is not going to move. He's just going to tuck his hands behind his back, straighten his posture, and wait.
okay.
But he is going to look to the assembled group of ruffians. And he did hear them say earlier, yeah, but we really want to cause havoc. But as Michael perhaps might know, people causing chaos usually just want some attention
Okay.
of some kind. They want to be validated. They want to feel like they're in control of their environment.
Oh, hang on.
Michael's. Yep.
Sorry, I misinterpreted the rules. You don't get to move them, but the grapple is still applicable.
Right. Okay.
So he's grappled.
Cool.
Sorry.
These guys.
So what does that mean to him, though? Sorry.
He can't move.
Yep.
Oh.
Cool.
Interesting.
Sorry for interrupting you, Rune.
That's okay. These guys clearly have some unresolved anger issues, and Michael's very familiar with people with unresolved anger issues. And you don't want to escalate with people who have unresolved anger issues. So he is not going to grab a weapon. They are. Sorry, I'll get this right next session. I am
That's fine.
not mentally here today. They're not going to grab a weapon. They're just going to stand there and hold their ground.
Okay.
And look to all of them and simply say, look, you don't have to do this. You want to, and I understand you want to, but maybe we can find a better outlet for you other than a public place with all sorts of people that might get hurt.
Okay.
And I'm going to attempt to use manipulation and persuasion. Plus, can I still include my calming presence on this?
The knack? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, and in conjunction with that, to get these guys to chill the fuck out. It's a nice day, goddammit.
We'll say that it is difficulty 2 with 1 complication per target you're trying to affect.
Wonderful. Roll well, Michael. So that's 10, I believe. Let me make sure 2, 4, 6,
you've got
8, 10.
1 in 3 odds.
Yeah, have you seen my luck recently? Wait, you don't know me yet. Let me tell you. 1 in 3 odds. Not great for me.
It's because you didn't ask your dice, please.
Okay.
You have to appreciate the dice gods.
You do. You have to appreciate the dice. You have to thank the dice. If you don't do that, they're just going to do whatever they want.
They usually do, regardless of what I do. Oh, shit. Nice. Okay, so that's 4 successes with an explode, and that's 5.
Was that 5 with your enhancement from Soothing Presence? Okay. So you affect 3 of them. They don't back down because they're in a state that you recognize as let's say chemical induced aggression.
That makes sense.
But neither do they push the offensive. So we'll say the 3 that was slightly further back kind of just stop where they are. Like, their fists are clenching on the pipes. Their breathing is obviously, even like you can tell, their breathing is rapid. Their jaws are clenched. Everything reads anger and hostility and aggression, but they're not acting on it right now.
So, wait, hold up. 2 medical professionals in the crowd, maybe 3 if Ash is one of them. Do these folks, they do look drugged, right?
Something wrong with them.
Yeah, like...
Yeah. Something enhanced too, by the looks.
Yeah, this is weird. Where's Liam in all of this? Are you anywhere near me?
He's probably about 6 feet away, grappling one of them.
I will, as kind of the last bit of my turn, lower my voice to speak to Liam and say, do these guys look tweaked to you?
They're buzzing. I think they're off their absolute rockers.
Because you are so, I was about to say intimate, so close to one of these individuals, there is a weird smell on his breath.
Oh.
Fun.
Do I recognize it?
Let's go with an. Let's have a dice roll for this. It'll be probably a mental attribute. Again, your choice of approach, and
Let's go cunning.
Probably medicine
Cunning and medicine.
or
Yeah.
academics. Your choice. Like to recall things.
Okay, we'll go with medicine. All right, cool. Ooh, that's 2.
2 successes. You don't know kind of what makes you think of it. And you don't know how any chemical product in the body would make the breath smell like this, but it smells of old paper, like a book.
Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, I relay that. Remember when we were in college?
Yep.
You get the new book and there's that new book smell. Kind of like that. Yeah, it's weird.
What?
Yeah, the smell, the breath. Ever heard of anything?
Can I think of anything like that? Psychotropic drugs, that kind of thing?
Not really. I mean,
Yeah,
drugs,
it's not my
drugs
wheelhouse.
would generally make your breath smell sweet or bitter or things like that.
Yeah.
Not a very specific decaying paper smell.
Yeah. Michael's just like, maybe they eat books. I don't know. That is my turn though.
Okay, yeah, and as Liam kind of conveys that, there's no injury taken. Quick note on health: if you look at the bottom right, you've got this bruised, injured, maimed, taken out. If the box is filled in, you don't have access to that health level. But that's your health track. You start with one bruised, one injured, one maimed. And then depending on stamina, you get an extra bruised, and if it's 5, you get an extra injured. So at most, I think most of you have 4 health levels before you're taken out. So
yeah, bruised, injured, maimed.
Yeah, just be aware of that. The plus number next to it is it adds a complication to the rolls.
Okay.
And as you convey the information about the breath and have that back and forth, the guy that you've got grappled tries to just, more as a reflexive thing, out of turn, tries to headbutt you. But there's no damage dealt or anything. You evade it.
Right. That's me, was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was more just a narrative thing. Michael, are you done? Having talked 3 of them down.
Yes.
Cool. So, Isabel, you have the last slot in the initiative order.
Isabel is going to drop the ruined bit of chair, look at the one that struck at her from before, and give him a Spartan push kick.
Okay.
Isabella's badass.
That's for 2 successes.
Okay. I got 1 success, which negates it down to 1. But so, unlike we're talking about chat, some D&D or Scarred Lands and other OGL games and other games of a similar nature, there aren't combat ratings or anything like that. There are archetypes for antagonists. These folks are mooks. They have 1 health. So you only need to do 1 success of damage. You need to inflict... he's not wearing armor, so there's no reduction of your successes. I assume you're using...
Enhanced impact.
Yeah,
and enhanced impact. If there's a porta potty nearby, I'd like to send him careening into that.
Then that is what happens. You're not sure if he's dead or just unconscious, but 1 second there is this gang member in front of you about to try and swing a pipe at your head. The next there is a hole in the side of a porta cabin as it slowly falls over due to just momentum.
Slosh.
Gonna need that automated plunger.
That's what's called a callback at improv.
Hey.
Would you like to do anything else? You can still move.
I will just walk purposefully towards the next nearest one with a crazed grin on my face.
Okay. Just trying to think. So there's one trying to leave. There's one in front of Liam that's got a rope around him. There are 2 running for Ash and Michael, and then there are 3 that clearly are still aggressive but aren't actually moving right now.
One of the ones advancing on Ash.
Cool. Okay. So you are the closest, biggest target, so their attention snaps over to you. If you would care to roll your defense.
2 successes.
I only got 1. You block it again. It's a body blow. It still hurts. You're still going to bruise, but there's no mechanical
Right.
thing of it. It's like in other games where they still hit you but don't deal damage because
Yeah.
You're not going to miss every time. Just having a quick check of the stat block I've got for these mooks, and so the grapple condition means they can't move. Excellent. So I'm going to activate its quality or flair. So much as you have knacks, antagonists have qualities. This one, the one that is currently grappled, has the quality of toxic. So I'm going to. You may defend against this, Liam.
Mm-hmm.
And if you fail, something bad happens.
Not sure I'm going to like this. Defense roll, yeah?
Yep.
Two.
Okay. You manage to pull your head to one side as the person in front of you vomits this black viscous liquid, aiming for your face. But as you duck out of the way, it just goes straight over your shoulder.
Can't sort of like pull them across a little bit with the rope to sort of get them out of my way.
Okay. It doesn't smell of bile. You would recognize that smell. It does not smell of bile.
Smells of old paper.
A bit, but it smells of something you probably wouldn't be able to identify.
Right.
That's that one. That's that one. There's the three which are, not doing anything currently, and then the one that was advancing on Michael kind of looks around at the one that just got spot and kicked into a porta cabin, and kind of like, Michael, your words did affect him. He did hear them. He did kind of take them on board. And his eyes are darting between you and the stall next to you, and he just goes for the stall next to you. Grabs again a lockbox, and just turns around and tries to leave.
Well, cool.
That's their slot done. Basically, those three that you persuaded just didn't do anything this turn.
Okay.
There, but you can see they're kind of snapping back into, like, the aggression is winning out over your soothing presence again. So, back up to the initiative slots of all the player characters clustered together.
I'm happy to keep going with the same order. I think it's working pretty well.
Yeah, don't break what ain't fixed. No.
Yep.
Don't
No, wait,
fix
what?
ain't break. Brain.
Words, how are they put together?
How English work? I don't know.
I speak very good. Thank you very much.
Hey, I typed this adventure on stream, and the amount of typos I made, and like, you can trust me, I write for a living, honest.
Just roll your face across the keyboard.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm still gonna take Ash is still gonna take the defense, and they're gonna hold the broomstick out in front of them, and they're just gonna say, "Listen, man, I don't know what the fuck you took before getting in here, but you need to back down, and you need to go with your friends. I don't want to hurt you." And I used the one F word for PG-13. No one else can have it.
Fuck.
Fuck's sake.
Are you just taking the defensive action to double your defense for the turn, or are you trying to persuade this person not to do what they want to do?
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna take the defensive action. I think.
Okay. So that doubles your defense pool.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So all right. So I roll my defense pool +5.
If they attack you, yes.
Okay.
So whatever you pull, if your pool is 5, yes, you roll 10 dice if they attack you.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Who's next? I think it was Liam.
It was. Liam's going to try and sort of run around this antagonist and get the rope so it wraps around their legs and just try and trip them up and make them prone, sort of take them right out of action.
Okay, yes, that's fine. There is, in fact, an option for this in the game. Are you trying to... So there are two options. There's pin, which is slightly harder, or take down, which is where you end up on top of them on the ground.
I'm happy to take down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So what do I need to roll? For
So
this?
say again, it sounds like a physical arena to me.
Yep.
But
Cool.
whatever you want to roll skill-wise.
Yeah, I'll roll dexterity, just getting around them.
Okay. You're probably looking at athletics or close combat for this.
Yep, close combat. That's good.
I will roll as defensive 1. 1.
2.
2. With 2, if you wanted, you could just incapacitate him entirely.
Okay. Yeah, I might as well. Yeah, just completely incapacitate them.
Okay.
So
So
around their legs and then around the body and just sort of they're wrapped up.
Yep. For the purposes of this, that antagonist is taken out of the fight because you've just
Cool.
enveloped him in a rope, basically.
Yep. And then I sort of just look around, see who's next closest to me that I can help out with, and I'll end my turn there.
Okay.
Is the leader still up?
No, that was the first casualty, unfortunately for me.
Oh, all right.
You
Where
can
is
see,
he?
You can see him. He's just in a boneless heap on the floor. Maybe at 10
Is he
feet away.
unconscious or
Oh.
is he?
Not moving. We'll say not moving. You'd have
Okay.
to get there and examine to determine consciousness or lack thereof.
Thanks,
it-
Isabel.
All right. Is there anybody who's like acting as impromptu leader? now
No, they appear to just be more either defending themselves
Scattered or?
or going for the lock boxes.
Well, thieves gonna thieve. Better than them like bashing our brains out with pipes. So, and I'm not gonna get in a fight over $50 in a lockbox. I'm gonna head to the leader.
Okay.
Is he surrounded by other people, or is he kind of off on his own?
Currently on the to get to the leader, you would have to go through the 3 people you talked down, who are
Okay.
slowly coming back to themselves.
I don't think they're gonna hurt me. I hope. Yeah.
That's up to you.
Nah, you know what? I have confidence in my ability to make people chill. It's what I do for a living, right, guys?
I'm so chill.
I'm the chillest chill. I'm the chilliest of chills. Okay, I'm a therapist, but I don't have any skill in medicine. That's fucking hilarious.
Because medicine's more physical medicine.
Okay, rather
That's-
than mental medicine.
That's
Yeah,
why I think you've got like leadership and persuasion.
Yeah. All right. So Liam's just tripped a dude.
Yeah, the dude is struggling, but tied up quite well.
Okay. And how many combatants are left? Sorry, I'm asking so many questions.
There are the 3 that you've managed to talk down.
Mm-hmm.
2 who are running away. One of whom is pretty much at the end of the field and will escape on the next slot. And there is 1 more floating, in front, as in not currently engaged, floating, not actually floating, in front of Ash.
Okay.
No, that's the one that fled. There is 1 left. I just can't remember where they are.
They're lost.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. I have really severe ADHD, and I heard you, but I didn't process a word of it.
Okay, so there are 6. There are 6 left.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine. There are 6.
6 left.
6
right.
left. 2 of whom are running away. 3 of them.
Right.
3 of the others are the ones that you talked down. And
Right.
I'll be honest, I've lost track of where the other one is. I know there's 6 left because I keep ticking them down, but I don't know where the other one is.
That's fine. I'm gonna approach
Is the other one in the porta potty?
Oh yeah. he got like this is Sparta into the shitter.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. There we
I can't
go.
believe
There
I
he is.
just said that sentence on a live broadcast, y'all. Wow.
You're welcome.
Sorry,
Someone
my
just-
Floridian is showing.
Someone just clip that, please.
This is Shada.
Do not. All right, I'm gonna approach one of the ones who's kind of like rummaging through a lockbox. Are his
Yeah, the
eyes clearing or?
the one that was in front of Ash has only just turned around. The eyes aren't clearing, but as you kind of move over to near them to get a better look at them, the aggression is slowly fading. Like their movements are more are less sharp and severe. They're more controlled.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So. Yeah. Hey, if it's not fixed, don't break it. Michael will attempt to speak to this one specifically, but still kind of keep that resolved, sort of calm presence about himself.
Okay.
Does he have a lockbox in his hand?
Has a lockbox under his arm, yeah.
Okay.
It is jingling. You can hear there's definitely money in it.
Can I have a bottle of water on my person?
Yeah, sure.
Like something I bought earlier. Yeah, I'm gonna reach into my coat pocket and pull out a bottle of water. Sealed, because I haven't drank it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, look, let's just talk about this. Obviously, you've taken something. I'm not going to report you to the police, but I need to know what's going on here. What happened? Why are you all doing this? What did you take? Who gave it to you? And I'm just going to hold the bottle of water out to him. Because
okay.
this is nuts.
Ordinarily, I wouldn't ask for a dice roll for this.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
But, yeah, that's definitely a social-based pool. Obviously, you pick your approach and your skill.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Does my self-doubters thing come into play here? Or is he pretty certain he's absolutely drugged out of his brain?
Yeah, he's pretty certain he's drugged out of his brain.
Delightful. I will still use persuasion and manipulation because, hey, everybody wants a bottle of water on a warm summer evening. Unless, it's Dasani, in which case, no.
You can't actually buy Dasani in the UK.
Really? Because it's tap water?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured. It's terrible for the Aussie. Terrible water.
Right.
It's the worst.
I was a bit confused.
Yeah, no, Dasani is a brand of bottled drinking water, and it tastes like faucet. It tastes like faucet, but like not good faucet.
Except
not the good stuff.
Just as an addendum, I think it's a Coke brand.
It is.
And in the UK, it was actually they were just bottling tap water.
Yeah, technically it's Nestle, but Nestle's owned by Coke, so it's Coke. But yeah, they've just been bottling tap water and selling it at the same price as every other water, and nobody even wants it. There's a lot of imagery going around of people refusing to buy it, even when they're buying out everything else. It's
really
capitalism. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that will be if I'm still allowed to use my soothing presence stuff.
Yes, you are.
That'll be 3 successes with an explosion, so 5 total.
5 total? Yeah. Words will only get you so far. I assume you as Rune know that you're not going to be able to talk someone else with drug-induced high, but
right,
you are getting through to this person, and they kind of, you can't tell where they're looking because again their eyes are completely black, but the direction, like the head tilt and the body shift to more face you would imply that they're looking at you now. But we've gotta. That's what we were told. But they are still like trying to move away.
Okay. I'm not gonna keep him.
Okay.
Except, well, I'll ask one more question. Who had you doing this? Who said you had to?
Todd.
Tard?
Todd. Todd.
Todd. Wait, wasn't Todd the guy in the improv tent?
That was Tyler.
Ah, names. Todd.
Oh man, I kind of wanted a mad evil improv master.
That'd be hilarious. It's like
Nope.
Colin Mockery goes on a rampage.
Note to self: for hero game, Tyler is villain.
All right, Todd. All right, just take the water. Go home.
Takes the water and resumes moving.
Bye. Gets my turn.
Okay. Leaves Isabel.
So there's no combatants in front of Ash or me.
No, not anymore.
Yeah. All right. Isabel's kind of on a high from what she just did. There's an empty place in her feels filled. This therapy is working awesomely.
Oh no, not this kind of therapy.
And but she comes down from it, and she looks at Ash like, "You okay?"
Sorry, my mic was muted. Yeah, I'm a little shaken up, but I'm fine. I let's just move on. Let's make sure everyone else is okay. I really appreciate the backup there. Liam, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. He's visibly a little bit shaken from it, but he's trying to put on a real poker face again. He doesn't like to show it.
Mm-hmm.
After that display of violence, Isabel picks up the plushy dog and dusts it off.
Scare me sometimes.
There are still 3 people with questionably hostile intent.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's move on. Let's make sure let's try to get closer to Michael and
Michael, who is standing by himself, arms tucked behind his back, looking for all the world like a high school teacher waiting for a room to calm down.
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
just disappointed.
That gets him.
Exactly that face. Exactly that face.
I just have my broomstick and it's like, come on, let's see what else we can do.
Isabel, would you like to do anything, or are you just, as I said, there are 3 antagonists still.
I will move towards the 3.
Okay.
Same.
Don't hit them, please. Please don't hit them, please. Escalating violence with more violence doesn't work. We've talked about this. Do not encourage her.
They're not fixed, so I got to break them.
We worked on this.
They're not
Come on,
broken,
as well.
you've got
I don't want to
break
have to help. I don't want to have to help more people with injuries.
I'll go a little bit more gentle, and I'm just gonna run up and shoulder check one.
Let him hit you first.
So yeah.
Okay.
That is a 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Wow, I got 2. Nice 10 roll. However, so you do beat their successes. So if you wanted to, you could grab 2 and just throw them to the ground. Like spend the extra success. To,
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
As a stunt to just basically cleave.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 of them go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do like a rugby spear tackle through both of them.
Yeah, they collapse. They're taken out of the current scene in that they're just stunned, dazed by what's happened, shocked by the sudden pain, and also a tangle of limbs.
Got him.
What did I just say about?
I de-escalated them or whatever.
He's not going to listen. Just mind your back, mind your 6s.
So there is 1 left. Clearly going to try to just bring the pipe down the back of Isabel's head as she stands.
But I'm holding a plush dog.
The power.
+2 AC.
It denotes me as a champion.
Strapped on.
Would you care to roll your defense?
Yeah. That is. Oh dear. That is a botch.
Oh, I botched as well.
Oh, so comedy of errors.
So it brings the pipe down. You notice this at the last minute, kind of like turn away to dodge, and both the pipe and the plush doll just kind of go flying. Because he hits the plush dog, loses grip of the pipe at the same moment, and then just kind of looks down at his hands and doesn't really know what to do.
Can I respond by hitting that same attacker on like the back with the broomstick? Like, can I just how does responses work? Like, seeing that happen, are we still in order of operations, or?
Well, that's its slot basically. There's no like attacks of opportunity or anything.
Okay.
The other two are just going to run away. So that was the one hostile still.
Yeah.
So you can take the top slot of the initiative and just try and hit them if you want. I'll give you an enhancement because it's confused and distracted. So as long as you hit, you get an extra automatic success.
All right, awesome. So what do you for those of us who are listening at home who generally don't play this game, what would you like my dice pool to look like?
I would appreciate a physical attribute of your choice.
Okay.
And it would most likely be a close combat roll. Okay. Which, to clarify, Ash has those dots for self-defense purposes, going out into dangerous situations. It's not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to. I guess I'm gonna roll my dex in close combat.
You can use stamina if you want.
I can use stamina?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that applied.
Yeah, it's more that you're just focusing on outlasting through energy rather than anything else.
Okay.
So you're conserving strength behind the blows, but they're still able to deal damage.
Okay, so that is out of that big old giant dice pool. I have 4. Oh, plus the 1 with the automatic success.
Yes.
So that's 5.
Isabel, from your perspective, what can only be described as cartoon violence ensues. From behind, so from where you know Ash to be standing, you just see the tip of this broom. It rises, descends with like almost blurred swiftness. There is a loud crack, and then the person in front of you just crumples slowly on the spot. Because of your astounding degree of success, if there were anyone nearby, that would also be social media viral worthy.
Cool.
Alas. Well, actually, there are people in the stall. So yeah, someone's been recording all of this. And then as that blow happens, there's a, yeah! And then a round of applause.
You had it in you, Ash.
Listen, I am forever going to talk about self-defense first, but this was clearly an exception to it. Are you all right? And can I like offer a hand up to like pull her off the ground?
I am I accept the hand and I'm like, I'm doing awesome. This is awesome.
We're going to talk about this later. But later.
I feel alive.
Like everything's so clear now.
That's the adrenaline.
Yes.
Okay. So is that it? Do we have any more?
There are no antagonists left. The only two that were in the scene have legged it with the lockboxes.
Well, okay, that was.
You can hear pockets of cries from other places in the festival, but it seems to be winding down.
Okay. So one would think that there were multiple instances or multiple groups of these gang members making
logical
issues.
Yes.
Yeah. Liam's going to go over to the leader that's crumpled on the ground and just give him a bit of a medical once over to see what the damage is there. Is he still alive? Is he...
Yeah, that would obviously be a medicine-based mental roll, but you can pick your approach.
Cunning, and my medicine.
Isabel
Ooh,
just
okay.
casually ruining everybody's careers.
That's a one. That's a one.
I'm
One success.
making more patience.
While Michael loses theirs.
She didn't kill them.
That's a plus.
That is
That's
true.
very good. That creates a lot of paperwork.
However, also you would then have to contend with the law.
Paperwork.
However, one success is enough to determine they are unconscious. Although, as you kind of pat them down gently, the way that their kind of whole chest seems to flex under the gentle pressure work, gentle pressure seems to imply there's some fracturing of ribs.
I'm going to apply a bit of first aid to him if I can.
Yeah, there's no roll needed for that really.
Yeah, so I just try and position them so it won't be so bad for them going forward. Even though they're an aggressor, this is my life's work.
That works. That works for me. Is anyone else doing anything?
I almost used the name of one of my wizards when I was about to speak. I am not here. Different game.
Fireball.
Different game, different accent. Actually, funny story. No, I'm joking. Fire doesn't work in our world right now, but that's another thing entirely. Yeah, sun's gone. No, Michael will kind of just roam around, try to generally soothe people, calm people, see what's going on, maybe check on anybody who's gotten hit and kind of direct them in Liam's direction if there's somebody who's hurt who needs attention.
Like obviously it'll take you a while to do that, but curiously, none of the violence was directed at the festival goers. It was all property destruction. Apart from as you wander towards the storytelling stage, you can see that Andre appears to have been in the thick of it himself and kind of got his arm in a sling, but that's really it. That's the only actual personal injury.
Any of you guys know a Todd? I'm asking our group in general.
None of you. Well, I mean, you feel free to say yes if you do know an NPC named Todd, obviously.
No.
No.
None of you would know a Todd connected with this gang.
No.
No, okay.
But these are barbers. This is way out of their territory. I don't understand. I mean, if they're going to cause trouble, they're going to cause trouble on their own. Like, I don't understand why they're all the way up here for a couple of cash boxes.
You would think it'd be a bit of a risk with other goons in this area as well, treading on their turf.
Yeah.
Their eyes were weird.
My immediate instinct is actually perhaps somebody wanted to ruin this festival to make our fuck is his name? Hang on. Andre? Yeah, Andre. Maybe to make Andre look bad, maybe to give him bad press, that sort of thing.
I mean, I understand that, but why wouldn't they just reach out to one of the local goons? Like, the fact that I don't know, it's just weird. It doesn't sit well with me. Like,
no, I understand that.
Should we maybe see if we can get access to talk to Andre and see if there's anything that might have, or anyone that might want to ruin this for him.
Well, Ash, you said you don't know why they'd be here. You said disadvantaged areas normally, right?
Well, I mean, traditionally speaking, from what I've experienced, most gangs tend to, unless they're trying to like start an all-out war with each other, most gangs just tend to stick to their own areas. You don't bug me, I don't bug you. So for them to come all the way up here to start trouble, I could see why someone would want to hire someone outside of their area to do that, but I also don't understand why they would risk it. Like, they're either getting paid a significant amount of money or like someone's got something on them. And I also just don't understand that if someone's intentionally trying to ruin the festival, why they wouldn't just use a local gang. I mean, we're not necessarily in a terribly disadvantaged area, but I mean, it's a lot of pressure and a lot of outward violence to risk for a couple of cash boxes.
I don't think the cash boxes were the point. I think your instinct's right. We should probably go find Andre.
Yeah.
See if he knows this Todd fellow. Also, I have never seen a drug like that in my life. What about you, Liam?
Nothing that I've ever seen, and that smell, I just can't get it out of my nose.
Books, you said?
No, it's not good. Books, old books specifically. You know that musky smell.
Oh,
So
the black liquid that was on the floor.
Yeah.
The projectile. Dried. It looks like ink.
Yo. I'm gonna take. I assume that Michael is extremely well hydrated. They are going to grab another bottle and actually like scoop up some of the liquid in a water bottle.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and kind of cap it off, and then just hand it to Liam. You've got a lab for this, right?
And it just opens up. He's got like this. I don't know what you call it, a bum bag, that he just sort of puts it in and zips it back up.
Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. I mean, okay, so in universe, the gods are real, the stories are true.
Yes.
Andre is a scion of which god?
Ashur-Lekbara, one of the so the Orisha are African deities.
Okay.
A lot of them came over to America as the Loire for voodoo, though.
Oh.
Okay.
So Papa Legba.
Okay.
So we have people whose breath smells like ink, whose breath smells like books, who are vomiting ink, whose eyes are black, who said somebody named Todd sent them to do this. Maybe it's a rival deity who's a storyteller. I don't know.
Possibly. Is the lasso guys? Is his eyes still black after he vomited?
Yes. They're more grey now, and you can start making out the edges of a pupil and iris. But he's still clearly under the effect of whatever this drug is.
Any ravens around?
Not that you can see, and you would be able to see them because you work with them.
Okay, cool. Let's go find Andre. Excuse me. Is he a giant?
No, unfortunately, he is not. R.I.P. Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the storytelling stage. Kind of, every now and then, staff will come up to him and like whispered conversation will happen. He'll point and they'll go off. So he's available for conversationing. That's a word.
I am going to approach him and just very genially ask, like, how are you holding up? Are you all right? Do you need anything?
Well, apart from the arm, can't complain. I rather wish they hadn't trashed my festival. Also, I'm not a voice actor. I'm sorry about accents, but it helps to differentiate characters.
I mean, it looks like you had a little tussle yourself. What happened? At least on your end. I know what happened on our end. We unfortunately got involved with a tussle ourselves over by the main way where the games are. But like you seem to be quite beaten up yourself. Were you targeted? Was someone trying to come after you, or are you all right? I guess is what it comes down to.
Well, they do seem to be here. They were here for me in this area. The staff have been telling me that there are other problems to take care of. My focus was just on keeping the public safe, but I appreciate any help you obviously rendered us. Can we? Most of our money goes to charity, but can we recompense you for your trouble?
No, that's not necessary.
Fleshy dog was reward enough.
So I know this is out of my expertise, but I was familiar with some of the tattoos that some of those thugs were wearing, and they are clearly a group of individuals who are not from this area, and they have cited, at least to us, who sent them over here. I know this isn't my business. We're not official police or anything, but like for the sake of keeping your name out of this, can you give us any information on like a person named Todd? Like any kind of information we ourselves can pass on along on your behest so that you don't have to deal with the police directly, other than obviously reporting your own injuries.
I don't know the name Todd, and any relation that would obviously have an impact on the current situation.
Is this man lying through his teeth?
You can certainly try to find out.
I would love to try to find out. Michael's standing, watching Ash do the social interaction and observing.
And as this happens, Liam will go up and sort of start just looking at his arm and start trying to tend to it without even asking permission. He's just going to start going to work if possible.
See cunning?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
Yeah, if feel free to suggest dice pools. By the way, I'm not precious about that kind of thing.
That was just my guess. I didn't know if you had a suggestion for me.
No. I was going to say either mental or social, and then empathy or subterfuge. So, like, I'm a liar. I know how people lie, kind of reasoning.
No, Michael's not a liar, per se. Wow. Okay. Hang on. Sorry. I need to use different dice because these are kind of freaking hard to read. 4, 5. Okay, that's 4 successes.
4 successes. In this instance, you do not believe he is lying.
So he has no idea why anybody would do this to him. Or who Todd is, or why anybody would actually disrupt his festival.
Have you had any interactions with the barbers before?
Not really. I mean, obviously we attract a certain kind of crowd looking for an easy payday, but never anything like this. Usually just pickpockets. And we have staff to deal with that. I mean, you have seen a couple of people here and there who haven't been as welcoming to visitors, who have been keeping an eye on the situation, and obviously our security.
Right. Okay. This is really weird. I hope for the best for you. Do you need any of our information or any of our contact info? I don't know if you're planning on filing a police report, and if you need us because we were directly involved in the altercation. I'm sure we ourselves are probably going to file some kind of report.
If you wouldn't mind leaving your details with my assistant. He kind of gestures towards a woman with a clipboard, not in the t-shirt uniform of the staff, but wearing what is clearly still a uniform. She's more wearing like business casual, but is definitely organizing staff and stuff. If you leave your contact information with her, if the police do need further information, that would be appreciated. The compensation alone will be far too much paperwork.
No worries. And then I reach into my wallet and pull out one of my own business cards with the nice emblem
business card
on it. All right. And I turn back and I look at everyone and I'm like, as soon as we are within I'm assuming I move away a little bit in a hushed whisper, I'm just like, so this is fucking weird.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's one way to put it.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else we can do at the moment. I mean, he's giving us as much information as he can. And unless we actually physically or mentally do a beat down on these guys again, I don't think we're going to be able to get any more information out of them. Or maybe we could try before the cops show up, but...
Liam, where's that guy you had tied up?
We've got the guy that's got tied up. He's he's still back there on the
See,
ground.
full disclosure, I'm just worried about this. Like the eyeballs and the ink, if this is a new drug, I just want to make sure what it is so that I can let my supervisors know so that my kids don't get into this. Or if they do, we know how to respond with this.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, obviously we're going to see this a lot on the streets, and I'll be getting called to a lot of these issues if there are any sort of overdoses. So, yeah, I think we need to know more about this.
Let's make them talk.
Okay, we're gonna do this the nice way first. We use our words, not our fists.
Yeah, Izzy, I would rather they be alive to tell the tale again, if that's okay with you.
Remember, paperwork is messy.
Well, yeah, if they're dead, they can't talk. I know that.
Izzy. No.
Bad Bard. No.
I'm already overworked.
I wonder if this is some kind of divine influence rather than an actual drug.
I mean, every other person has some kind of divine influence going on. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, but why though? That's the thing. Just chaos. This is just chaos. Why is it?
I mean, some people just want to see the world burn.
Hey, DM.
Yeah.
Do we know of any gods associated with just wreaking havoc that have to do with like papers and books and shit?
Not off the top of your head. So, bit of more lexicon for you. So each pantheon has gods and titans. The general kind of setup of the game is that the titans are trying to escape from their prisons to wreak havoc.
Okay, so like Scarlet's kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit more complex than that because the Orisha say you're racist if you call people a titan because they incorporate their titans into their pantheon. The celestial bureaucracy, the Shen, the Chinese pantheon, they give them jobs in the bureaucracy. So it depends which pantheon it is, but off the top of your head, you can't think of any titans that would be into this kind of thing. As for gods, I mean, sure, there's trickster gods that would do this for the chaos it causes for fun if they were so inclined, but if there's a moral here, I mean, not every trickster deity cares for morals. Like, I can't remember the name of the Manitou one, the Native American pantheon, but that one is more focused on, like, it's just a trickster deity. There's no morals involved. I think that was the one anyway.
Doesn't seem to be any real MO, does there?
Nanab Uzu.
I say let's go have a chat to our roped up friend.
Yeah, all right. And then let's go get something to eat. I am starving, and funnel cake not filling.
Yeah, and the beer would be good.
Yeah, beer would be awesome.
Okay, so you go back to where you were.
Interrogation pub.
When you get there, there is a guy standing there, darker colored skin, black hair, slick back, but extremely luxurious.
Both work.
Yeah, just wearing a simple kind of suit, carries himself with authority, and is wearing sunglasses. Isabel, you recognize him as your adoptive father. He just kind of turns as you approach. Isabel, I'll be over there when you're done. I think we should talk. And then kind of just unobtrusively saunters away. There's authority, and kind of he moves with purpose. Everything about this man conveys purpose and intent.
Would the rest of us
weird?
Would the rest of us recognize him in any respect?
Ash potentially. He's the head of the neighborhood watch in the local suburbs, so you might have had dealings with him.
I mean, with Isabel and I being in the same foster system, it's possible that I would have recognized
the
person who adopted her.
Yeah.
Isabel, why is your father here?
This is so weird. I just beat up a bunch of gang members, and I think I might be grounded.
That YouTube video.
Yeah, Isabel is totally like kind of taken aback, snapped out of her bravado, and I'll you go torture the dude. I'll be right back.
I was just about to suggest that, but with less torture. You go, yeah.
Why do you carry all that water?
Because I'm thirsty.
Oh.
In more than one way.
Yeah, I will leave them to it, I guess, because I'm just like completely sidetracked now. And
Cool. Okay, we'll do that last because that seems like what I've got planned seems like a good place to end anyway.
Cool.
And we are running out of time. Although there's nothing on this channel for another like 3 hours afterwards. But there we go. Interrogation. He was never knocked unconscious. You just tied him up, so he's conscious. As I said, the drug is the visual effect of the drug in his eyes is fading.
Okay.
It's now like mostly the sclera's return. The sclera is the white of the eye, by the way, and the iris and the pupil are visible. There's just like a faint grey fog now, rather than just complete black layer.
All right, Ashley, you want to handle this, or do you want me to do it?
I got it.
Cool.
I can speak their language. All right. So I'm gonna crouch down in front of him and just kind of like lightly pat his cheek to get his attention. And I'm just like, listen, bud, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you took?
Kind of just eyes you. You see that his jaw clench, his throat work, or like out of the peripheral vision, his chest kind of balloon, as if he's trying to vomit again, but nothing comes out.
Do you need us to lean you forward?
No.
Okay. Listen, you look like you're in a lot of. I want to use a persuasion roll on this.
Yep, that's obviously a mental attribute. So.
Okay, let's see.
There's a band called the Persuaders.
There is.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna say.
Do you have anything active right now that influences starting attitude?
I mean,
I can't remember what knack Ash has.
I have.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have hostile situations. I don't know. Does not disadvantaged youth.
You could. I'll give you your street specialty.
Okay. Cool.
So, an enhancement to the roll.
Cool. And I'm just gonna say, listen, we just want to help you. If we don't know what you took, we can't tell the EMTs what you took, and if you don't know how poisonous this is, just give us something so that we can help you, because you look like you are about to like choke on your own tongue right now, friend. Ooh, explode.
Kaboom!
That's 4, including my my enhancement.
Cool.
I get an automatic success for that enhancement. Okay.
Yeah. He kind of like all the fight goes out, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just called ink. Makes you feel real strong.
Is it like PCP?
It's like the truth is there for you to see.
Okay, and I just look up at Liam.
Is there any? Might I have heard of anything like that on the streets in my time?
Categorically, no. This is a very new development.
Okay. So I sort of shrugged, like,
Was this a pill? Did you shoot it up? Like, what's in you, man? How did you take this?
I drank it.
Okay. All right. Where did you get this from?
The boss.
Who's the boss?
There's the boss. I'm not going to tell you anymore.
You need to tell me more, because if your other friends also took it, and you're about to have a lot less friends if this ends up hurting them in any way.
Hasn't hurt anyone yet.
You don't know.
Yeah, there's a come down, but there's always a come down.
At this point,
Go ahead.
sorry. At this point, I'm gonna sort of lean right in and just start talking to him in a really low voice. Just start throwing some medical terms around at him and explain how drugs like this sort of mess with the insides and their temperatures and how just describe an overdose, real bad overdose, in a real graphic nature. And I want to use manipulation and my medicine skill to
That
try
sounds perfect to me.
Yeah, to talk him into talking more, scare him. So,
can I attempt to assist with this as well? I'm not angling for the intimidation aspect. I'm angling for the listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about. We want to help.
So you don't have to roll the same pool.
Cool.
So you could do like manipulation and persuasion or whatever. But however many successes you get or enhancements to Liam's roll, up to a maximum of 3.
Okay.
So I think I get an enhancement as well as part of perfect poise.
Manipulation, and I would still like to use my calming presence on this as well.
Yeah, that gives you an automatic enhancement.
Yeah. I'm trying to be good cop.
Yeah.
You're getting ganged up by doctors.
Your perfect poise enhancement is to keep a poker face.
Right. Okay. So that's what I'm sort of getting right in there for. So I got 3.
Okay.
That is 4 from me with enhancement, so he gets an additional 3.
Yeah. So 6 total successes.
You're gonna die, buddy.
I'm like, this is what happens, and you're like, yeah.
We don't want this to happen to you. So we were just worried.
But if you do, and this is what's going to happen.
In the interest of time,
Yep.
he breaks completely, but all he can tell you is that Todd, the boss, just told them to take ink and cause chaos at the festival, and then just kind of left them to their own devices.
Okay.
He won't tell you where they're based because there's just some loyalties that he won't cross.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to find that out yourselves in the future. But that's basically the extent of what he knows. They're just here to cause trouble.
Okay.
Exciting.
Meanwhile,
All right.
Isabel and her father. He was just kind of leaning against the support bar of one of the tents, and he kind of shrugs himself upright, hands in his trousers as you approach. Isabel, I think there are some things you ought to know.
Did you see me?
I saw.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I saw. And he lowers the sunglasses, and for as long as you've known him, his left eye has always been milky white and blind. Now it's this miniature sun.
The hell?
Cool.
I've just been waiting for you to prove that you can demonstrate certain aptitudes. And he kind of looks around. You did very, very well. So for those of you in chat, because you can, again, buy this adventure, this is, or if you came in late, this is Isabel's mortal adoptive father. And, well, a couple of important points. You aren't adopted. I threw you to the vicissitudes of fate at birth, and you found your way back to me. And 2, Out of character, she is a born Scion, right? I'm not misremembering.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not technically what you would call mortal, and neither are you. And as there's obviously initial reaction would be to disbelief. My father's gone crazy. Pressures of the work, what have you. But there's a conviction to his words, and also the longer that he speaks, kind of the hotter and drier the air becomes. You can almost feel sand blowing against your skin. Oh, someone got bopped in chat. Now I know that this is a lot to take in, and obviously you will have questions. If you have some now, I'm happy to answer them. This is not how I imagined having this discussion, but I doubt that any of us in a similar position ever get to choose how we have this discussion. But I will always be your father, and I will always love you and support you. There just may be people who look like me who won't, or who feel like me who won't.
What? Fuck. You're my real dad?
What a twist.
I'm like Shyamalan worthy. There's like a quirk of the lips, like he's trying to hold a smile back. If that's all you want to take away from this, yes, I'm your father, Isabel.
Did you like what I did?
I am incredibly proud of what you did. There are few people who would have done such a thing, and there are still only a small number of people that I and my family and others like me have sired or taken an interest in who would have done such a thing. And it means that you are ready to know the truth.
Yeah, I want to know the truth.
The air around you becomes almost too warm. The ground beneath your feet seems to be replaced by sand, although you can still feel the grass and stuff, and you can still faintly hear the festival around you. But the more pressing sound is just wind and birds crying. I mean, you're a pilot. You've seen birds. Also, falcons are used to clear runways, so you've heard falcons before. Falcons crying. And your father kind of he's a man of authority. He's head of the neighborhood watch. He's used to, he holds himself well, but he stands, if possible, straighter, and his head, for a fraction of a second, appears to be that of a hawk, and then it's just the man you know again, but there's more of an openness and less guarded honesty in his manner, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Isabel self-consciously slouches less.
The world is dangerous for people like you, Isabel. Know that I will always do what I can, but I am necessarily limited by this form. And then as the kind of festival and the world reasserts itself around you, he kind of starts to like walk away. I will be at home should you have further questions, but no, for now, I am Heru and I'm proud to call you daughter. And then
Ding.
that is where we have to wrap up because it's 4:00. So I hope everyone had fun. Hope that
Nice.
it was
Thank you so much, Ryan.
Successful introduction to the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, good fun, man.
This is
Good fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Is everyone okay for 9 a.m. EDT next week as well?
Why is it so early?
Because I have.
It's my fault.
So as of this moment, I am okay. Full disclosure, when I am not working my humble little game shop, I'm an enrichment teacher in an after school program, and we might be starting back up to offer services to first responders. But as of this moment, I'm still clear.
Cool. Well, let me know if you can't. Obviously, you've got my email address. So.
Okay.
We should make like a Discord chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I mean, I have Amber's Discord tag anyway because of a server we share in common. That came out creepier than I intended, but check out Blood City. It just finished. So I guess for now, people in Twitch chat who are interested, this should be the same time next week. I'll take a break from my usual schedule just because I don't want to mess everyone else's timetables around. I think based on that, it'll be 2 or 3 weeks left, if that's fine.
Okay,
cool.
Works for me.
Cool.
I'm just gonna say I can't sort out post-roll stuff because of Zoom. But if anyone wants to promote themselves and their services again, now is your chance to do it while I have a drink of water before wrapping up.
Cool.
Do we have any time to take any questions from the chat? Like, is there time for that? If anyone has any questions about your campaign or anything?
The next stream isn't till 1 a.m. my time. No, it'll be 8 p.m. I think the next stream's Eddie's at 8 my time. So we have time, I believe, if there are questions in chat. So as I said, this is an adventure that you can purchase from the Storypath Nexus. It's pay what you want, so you don't obviously. That will never change. It's not discounted for, the apocalypse. That is the price it's going to be because I just write for the fun of it.
Cool.
Any questions? And now we wait for the 20-second chat delay.
We wait for the 20-second
look for people to play with, and I suggest you appreciate it. Rinkoth, the Discord has a looking for group channel, or several, and there is also just a Scion channel on there, so you could ask there. I check it sometimes, same as I check other channels sometimes.
Yeah, I like the system.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I really love a lot of Onyx Path stuff.
Yeah. It uses the same system as Trinity Continuum, but Trinity's more kind of... it's being designed as more of like a system-neutral thing. So just source books are different styles of play. So it's like pulp and horror and sci-fi. Whereas Scion is very much pulp fantasy.
And I love urban fantasy. It's always had like a huge, like I grew up reading Charles DeLint and Neil Gaiman. So like urban fantasy in general has always had like a huge, like sweet soft spot in my heart. So I'm really glad I got to be like part of this.
Yeah, I dig that second ed development with the setting, because I think in the first edition it was kind of the standard. There's supernatural stuff, but no one really knows. And the second ed, it's like out in the open, and there's
that's cool.
Which is cool. It's a different way to do it.
I like, full disclosure, prefer second ed than first edition. On top of the fact that first edition used a system designed for mortal characters, but yeah, the world development and progression. It obviously changes the game feel a lot, but also makes it feel more distinct. Makes like it's its own thing now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
and I'm digging the story path
with gods.
Yeah, this is really
yeah. Absolutely. From a gaming perspective, this is my first, I guess, modern urban game.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a really good dive into it. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it's good.
Passive is cabbage. So the actual Scion powers are called boons. Usually they're channeled through relics, and the relic itself determines how the power kind of manifests. So the more overt supernatural effects are definitely visually manifested. So one of the relics in the book, so there's, as with any Honest Path thing, there's like canonical pre-generated characters which feature in the fiction within the rulebook and all of the things. And if you get the rulebook for Origin and Hero, they come with pre-gens in the actual character creation system. There's a Scion of Thor there, and like his revolver has a fragment of Mjolnir in it.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty badass.
It's like bolt from the sky or something is how those purviews manifest.
Dang.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
Anyway, we did overrun, so hopefully everyone can make it next week. Obviously, let me know if you can't. Hopefully everyone in chat had a great time. I will be heading to my own channel if you have further questions for me to answer in like half an hour's time. Cool. It's Comrade Bubbles. This is like the one time I don't have my channel name anywhere on the overlay. And I'll email you all about some way of contact during the week, apart from emails, unless people just want to keep it at email. Anyway, I'll email you about that. Thank you, everyone, huge thank you to everyone for being here early in the morning or late at night. No, for me, it's middle of the day, so easy for me. And for it just being so open to it at such short notice.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good group. Awesome party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 'em all.
A lot of fun.
Anyway, thank you all.
See you all next time.
See you.
See you later.
Bye.
man.